All right, guys, good morning. Let's make sure the audio is working. All right, guys, good morning. Welcome aboard to the Morning Note. My name is Carlos Garcia, founder and CEO of GAR Capital. It is September 16th, 2022 on a Friday. Got CNBC up on my screen here, just looking at what they're saying. All right, let's go ahead and get to it. Bottom right-hand corner of your screen, little black logo, click on that, turn notifications, subscribe to our channel. Make sure to like these videos. If you do, let's get to business. Dow Futures down 403 points, Nasdaq down 1.38%, S&P down 1.36%, and Russell down 1.5%. This is OPEX day. Operation expiry for index options, futures, and commodities as well. Crude oil is up 0.15% this morning. 10-year yields, we'll go ahead and take a look at that chart, 3.477. You just move the decimal over. 110.15 on the dollar, that's up. We've talked about how the dollar and the S&P are inversely correlated. The VIX is spiking 5.71%. Man, feels like only a couple of weeks ago we were below 20, 27.77. Gasoline futures down 0.46%, $2.41. Gold futures, even with the market tanking, even with all this volatility, to the downside. Gold is still down 0.52% because of the dollar, 16.68 an ounce. 19.03 for silver futures, down 1.21%. Euro dollar again back below parity, 99.55, down 40 pips. 143.27 for the dollar yen, that's down 20 pips. 19,650 for Bitcoin futures, Ethereum futures, 14.52, that's down 2.81%. Let's go straight to S&P futures, kind of give us a look on where we are. We broke down this trend line, settled below it, and continued below it. This 3,900 level is the same exact level I shorted last week. Okay, guys, and I got brutalized. I got killed on this short squeeze. So I was very hesitant to even do any kind of shorts at this level here. Now that we have broken, let's see where we continue. Again, OPEX today. So we'll get some volume, but the question is which side? Are we going to get a short squeeze, maybe shorts close out, or we continue to go down? Now, if you're looking at this chart on the daily, again, we're just going to look at the daily. What is your next level of support? We're right around 37.99. Again, pretty simple with the round number theory. Right around, you got a couple of wicks here, but if you go just by the settlement candle, it's right around 3,800, 37.99. So again, if you are shorting, personally, last time I did, again, I'm gun shy on that one because I had it right here on that break, expecting to go to 380. I had 380 SPY puts, I remember. I just was early. That's really it. We had all this, and then it was just early. But looking at 3863, 3800 is your next level of support. But again, keep in mind the latest lows, 3639. I remember when everyone was like, oh, are we continuing to go up? This is the end. And then we rejected the 200. Again, seasonality is still rearing its ugly head. Remember that seasonality chart? September in a midterm year tends to go down. And then right towards the beginning of October, we definitely bounce. Does that get us to 3659? Does that get us to 3500? 3500 being an extremely key level because that it was near that 200 day on the weekly, or the 200 weekly, let's just call it. But again, you could see that has been raised from 3500 to 3576. Do we have enough juice to get there? Would that be a level where we want to buy? Well, that really depends on yields. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. 10-year yields breaking out on the hourly, of course, breaking out on the daily. So definitely more weakness. But could this reject? Of course it is. So it's a very coin flip approach. I mean, the Bears have their argument. The Bulls have their argument, at least for a quick turnaround anyways. Let's take a look at the dollar index. Dollar index looking to break out again. Remember that 110 level on that trend line on the monthly chart? Take a look at this. Again, pretty key, right at 110. Now we're broken above it. 110.78 being the high. The most recent highs of the dollar have gone as high as 121.02. That was the dot-com bubble. Understand that. Are we in the same kind of analog? People have been saying that. I just been reading the FedEx. They were talking about FedEx this morning. That's down about 25, 24% this morning on taking away guidance, weaker than expected numbers. Amazon's down. That's logistic. FedEx is down. UPS is down. So again, the FedEx CEO was talking on Mad Money about a global recession. Well, what's the best way to kill inflation? Is a recession. That is the poison pill. We've been saying that for months. The question is, will the Fed or central banks continue to raise even in the face of inflation, face of a recession. Really, the issue at hand here is really labor markets. The labor markets are expensive. We see how much labor costs have gone higher. So again, a recession would bring down employment and then again bring down wages paid and bring down inflation. That is terrible to say. That's something that I don't wish for, but that is the poison pill. The good news, if we have any, is that we get a soft landing where GDP holds up and employment holds up, but yet inflation comes down. But we just saw the last CPI being relatively mixed, PPI a little better. It's still, the fight is not done yet. 75 basis points seems to be where we are. And all of this price action movement, guys, all of this stocks going down, dollar going up, yields going up, this is what the Fed has been wanting. The Fed wants lower asset prices to kill speculation and to reduce or drain liquidity from the system. So a lot of people will say cash is king right now. Right now, I'm sitting on some cash, not really looking at buying anything as of yet. There's a couple of names that I am looking for. Nvidia has not hit my alert. Google has not hit my alert. UNH had a great day, still holding up. Apple right at the 100-day moving average. I still have own shares on that. Microsoft, it's still 238.51 is the level I'm looking at. We're not there yet. So again, it's kind of frustrating to see the portfolio go down, but yet nothing to buy as of yet. So this is where dollar cost averaging comes in, where you're just looking at buying every week, every month, regardless of the price. Let's take a look at the volatility index. 28.25 is my resistance. We're at 27.72. If we do break that, looks like 30 is on board. And then we would continue lower to around, well, we could definitely test those lows of 36.39. Let's go ahead and take a look at Nasdaq together. That 12,000 level was a key level of support, and that was sliced through. The mega caps yesterday really took a hit. UNH tried its best to hold up the Dow yesterday, but it was Apple, Microsoft, Google, Amazon all down yesterday. Tesla held up pretty well yesterday as well. But for the most part, those names, the mega cap tech names, were down. And the reason that is, guys, is the dollar. 60% of their revenue comes from overseas. So they get something called Forex slippage. And there was a great note about it on CNBC talking about that every couple of, I think it's every quarter point that the dollar goes higher, it's billions of dollars being drained from these mega cap companies. So the dollar needs to come down. That's exactly what it is. Good news for savers, those who have savings accounts or CDs, your interest rates will go up in order to save because cash is more wanted or more pursued. It's something that is harder to find, obviously. It's all about scarcity now. Again, as rates increase, as you can see with 6% 30-year yield, that brings down demand. That's just the name of the game, guys. None of this really should be surprising when you have a Fed raising rates. The question is, will they pivot? The only thing that I'm upset is this. I had freaking puts last week and I got murdered on this stupid dead cat bounce. So I'm pissed. I want to get revenge too, but I have to kind of hold it in together because with the understanding that anything could happen, every day is a new day at the market. That's just the reality of it. So every day we just have to keep plugging away and do the best we can moving forward. I was looking for an IWM turnaround yesterday. Did not get it. Obviously, was playing momentum short term for a bounce. We did not get it. We had to close for a loss. It's been an absolutely tough sledding these past couple of weeks. That's where we need to get better. That's where I need to get better. And you know what? The thing when it comes to trading is that you want to get better without making things worse. You don't want to add more risk or double your positions just trying to make back what you lost last time. Keep at it. Keep watching your charts. Put your alerts, your best setups. That's really the only way you can go by it. Futures are bouncing slightly off lows, not exactly meant for celebration, but let's see if we can retake 3,900. If not, the question is how low can we go? So let's bring up the daily again. Again, if you're looking for Monday or exactly 3,800 or the 380 puts would probably be it, maybe for Wednesday expiry. But you could see here, 383, that gets us to right around here. There's a gap to fill on SPY at 379. So that would probably be my target if I'm looking for like a Monday or a Wednesday expiry for next week if we continue to fall. And the things I'm going to look for SPY to continue to fall will be the dollar and will be the 10-year yields. So that's exactly what I'm seeing. How about that Amazon bear flag breakdown? There you go. Hired to be an analyst. Why not, Carson? Well done. And again, it was one of those trades that, again, that trend line, and we are bouncing a little bit to be fair, but great call. The last time, again, Carson, that I shorted here, I got burnt. So I'm a little gun shy. We're right at the 100-day on the daily, guys, right at 122 with this downward trend here, this trend line that we had with this gap up, and then we came back down here to round trip. It better hold here. If not, well, then Carson is going to make some very nice money if he's holding that position. So let's put an alert here below 122. And again, the reason that Amazon is down, we saw the logistics update, the guidance being cut. No more forward guidance for FedEx. Not good. I remember FedEx was having really good. We had a gap up on FedEx on their earnings, if you guys remember. And boy, that felt like a long time ago. That thing was at 250, now trading at 160. 160. Look at that. Brutal. The last time I saw a trade like this fall was Target. Target was a stock that I bought on that gap down. Does that mean I bought it right around here? Would it be prevalent to go ahead and buy FedEx here? Well, let's go ahead and see. Let's see for my dip buyers what they like here. 160.74, we filled that gap. 160.74 is right around here. Okay, so when it comes to buying stocks that did fall that you still believe in, usually the 3-day rule is something that fund managers like saying, give it about 3 days, see how the market goes. That's usually consolidation after a big move, and then wait to see if you still want it. So that's my position on FedEx. I can't say that I'm so excited to get in. I have a little more I'm a little more wanting to buy Adobe than anything else. I know I'm very big into tech, but Adobe at 301, not here yet, but 260, that's where it gets interesting. I've always liked Adobe. I own Adobe and SpyG, mind you. What do you think about what happened if the Fed raises by 50 basis points to 75? Sorvin asks. I don't think that's going to happen. 50 basis. They just can't. I think maybe possibly 50 points in November if CPI gets better, but CPI was worse. So it wasn't as great as the month prior. So I think you're going to get 75. For us to get 100, that would really be a very hawkish Fed. Um, I think 75 is baked in, and that's where we're going to get personally. Now, I don't think 50 is even in the cards. I think 100 is one that's a possibility. So it's really 75 and 100, not really 50 and 75. What do you think about Costco? I do own Costco. Let's go here. Costco trading at 497. So let's go ahead and go look at the daily together. Not the best to trade options on when it comes to Costco personally. So 497 right here. Really don't have much gaps to fill. You don't have any gaps to fill. So really that yellow line right here, right around 440, that'd be a pretty decent level to go by. But I do like Costco. They are an inflation beater. I mean, they buy in bulk, they negotiate prices, they have their gas stations, they really don't make much. And in regards to hot dogs and such, but I do like Costco long term. It's just expensive. Anything that's consumer defensive right now or paying dividends is getting extremely expensive. So again, a lot of people are paying for safety in these names. So Costco may be a little overvalued at these levels. Only took an overnight swing. I'm selling at open today. I like the potential support at 122. Good call. Good call, Carson. I see that what you're saying here, that 122, you could see that wedge there. That is pretty much your bounce level. Now, again, we could slice through that, man, and then you could get down to around 115 in a hurry. The question is, do we hold? And so far, again, so far, we are holding on S&P. We're bouncing off the lows right now. At least the low is around 38.64. If we can recapture 3,900 and settle above 3,900, I would consider that a win for at least the bulls. But if we stay below, more power to the downside, especially ahead of the Fed. I'm sold on puts on AMD. I sold puts on AMD and about to get a sign. What do you think of AMD? Oh, okay. So you wrote some puts on it. Tough one. The good news on AMD, 75 is a key level, but really 72.50. You might just get a sign there, especially with OPEX. You may just have to sell those shares depending on how many contracts you have. The one thing you're hoping for is that we do get some kind of bounce above this trend line here that I drew right around 80, and you have a gap to fill at 83.40. So I'm hoping the best for you, Jimmy. I hope this thing soars 10% today, man, and you make money on those puts. So I'm hoping for you, brother. They're talking about Adobe here on CNBC. Again, yesterday was down like what, 16, 17% off that buy that they made, that M&A. The reason was that they offered more shares. So share dilution is not a fun thing, especially in this kind of market. So QQQ down about 1.38% this morning. The question is that we're looking forward is that, well, if we know that 3,900 was a key level, The question is, what is next? Do we get to continue down? Do we follow that seasonality pattern for the towards the end of September into October? And I don't see anything that would help that cause to get that bounce in October. Either we get some oversold conditions, some really crazy oversold conditions, we get a peace deal in Russia or something, or it just becomes to the point where we get a pivot, a Fed pivot now between now and then. I don't think we're there. Let's take a look at the hourly. Now it oversold on S&P, on the RSI, not super oversold either. So again, you can stay oversold. Same thing on the 4 hour. So if you get some kind of bounce here, it's probably an oversold bounce as all, not really a change of trend. Again, you could see that we went from 43.25 to around 38.69. That's about a 500-point swing. That's crazy. How do you set up Twitter like yours? This is called TweetDeck. TweetDeck. It's a free app, or I guess desktop. There's a regular app and a desktop platform. So that is this is TweetDeck. It's absolutely free. I love it. That's the Twitter host I use. Let's just say. What's the target price to add Amazon? Let's go and take a look at it. Really, the key level is really based on, in my opinion, well, really, how much are you willing to pay for it? How much are you willing to own it for? How long? If you're asking me, anything below 100, I think is worth it, worth a shot. I know 26% drop from here to 100, possible, but that's where I'm looking at. And I own Amazon. I love Amazon, but I want to get a really good price when there's real panic on the street. Target, I did the same thing. Where there was really panic on Target, I bought, and I'm up pretty nicely on it. So you really, the time to buy is when you won't want to. That's the saying. Let's see. What do you think about Apple? I own Apple long term, obviously. And Apple is right at the 100 on the daily, but broke below. We're right at 150. 149.63 is the 38.2 fib level. If that does not hold, then you have down to 141. No gaps to fill on Apple to the downside on the daily at least, and you're not at oversold yet. We sliced through that 100-day. Let's see if we get a bounce here right off this level here of 150. We haven't been to 150 really since July 18th. So it's been a couple of months. 100 will be tough to get. Yeah, well, again, if you get an accelerated to the downside, I think you almost have to buy it there at the end of the day. So we'll see what we get moving forward. Have a great rest of your morning, guys. I will catch you guys on Monday for the morning note. I did not finish the Chargers Chiefs game, but again, a couple of friends of mine did hit Chargers plus 4.5. So they did get that backdoor cover. Well done. But I'll go definitely check out the highlights. I fell asleep on that Chiefs Chargers game, even though it was a great one. I feel 10 years older after this one. Patron Boy, you survived 2020. You should know better. You have stripes, man. This is a tough one. I understand. Definitely isn't easy. If it was easy, guys, everyone would be doing it. Be confident in your skill. We will get through this and things will get better moving forward. Have a great rest of your day, guys. Enjoy your weekend. Cheers.